All right, we had just a crazy game that would happen in Los Angeles. It felt like it was a neutral crowd. Maybe that's even being polite to the Rams fans who were there, because there was a lot of 49ers fans there. It might have been just like a Niners home game, really. Who cares about that? Let's talk about the game itself. So I want to start off with this, because this is something that no one's really talking about, but it's something that I thought of right away. And maybe some people are talking about it, but it's something that I found interesting. So it's a 3rd down and 7 to set the stage, 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and the 49ers only have 1 timeout. So you run the ball, you kill their last timeout, and you punt it deep, so then they have a long distance to go to try and get a touchdown of their own. Or you throw the ball, try to get the first down here, and game over, you win. You win the division just like that. That's a decision the Rams could have made. They decided to play it safe here, which it's a decision. It's something that you could have done. It's something you didn't have to do. Look, as you see, you are going to see a handoff, and it's going to be, gain a couple yards. It's not horrible there, but I do find that fascinating, and I do wonder, again, everyone always criticizes a decision that doesn't work, but that is one that didn't work right there. In fact, I want to talk about this a little bit, too, of just the decision itself, in terms of going for it. Because on 4th down and 5, according to analytics, it's actually a toss-up. You could go for it, you could not go for it. They say it's kind of a 50-50 decision. So you could have even made the argument that, hey, you're at midfield, they have to get a touchdown either way. Does the field what value is that field position? And keeping possession means you win the football game. Now, it also had you as just a 47% chance to convert on that type of play. But who knows? Maybe if you throw the ball, you could get 2 shots to potentially win this game. That's not what they decided to do. So, again, I'm not necessarily saying I agree or disagree. I think it's a difficult decision either way. But again, when it doesn't work out, you're going to get criticized for it. And now let's talk about that final drive. This was really the play that would make it happen. And quite frankly, this is a mistake from, one of the best players in football that allowed this to happen, I believe. Again, who knows that these things do, there are different rules and different defenses. But I believe this was a Jalen Ramsey error, where what's going to happen here is it's zone coverage and there's a 2 safety deep coverage. Look, what's interesting though is look at the top half of the screen. So to the offense's right, there's 2 eligible receivers there. Now, obviously a receiver could, start off on the left and go over to the right, but typically those are the 2 main guys you want to look at. And right when this play begins, I'm going to pause it right here because you see Jalen Ramsey, he, in my opinion, clearly should be staying deep with Deebo Samuel. Now, if you want to argue a safety should have came up and covered Deebo Samuel, you can argue that as well. But the reality is, you don't need 2 guys on Kittle who's in the flat. I mean, okay, maybe you do. Maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. But if they hit the flat route, it's not the end of the world. Even if they get out of bounds and get the first down, it's not the end of the world. You've got to know your assignment, and you got to know who you're supposed to cover. No one is covering Deebo Samuel here, and that's not a guy you want to lose in coverage. You want to make sure you're always covering Deebo Samuel if you can. And look, Samuel runs past Ramsey. Ramsey eventually nearly came back and made that play. I have to pause it right here just for copyright reasons. But, really good stuff by Deebo Samuel. Really good stuff by Jimmy Garoppolo. Great throw, because Ramsey did come back and nearly knock it away. So Garoppolo, not his best day. He had his ups and downs for sure, but this was certainly an up. But also for Jalen Ramsey, I mean, it's not a great play by him. That's just the way I view it. And I'm a Jalen Ramsey guy. I think he's one of the best players in football, but not the best play. And the game-tying touchdown, also a bit interesting, where it's going to be zone coverage again, and it's going to be kind of, just a simple zone buster that San Francisco is able to run here. Watch. I mean, it's going to be, and by the way, when I say this, Garoppolo makes the throw, look at how open it gets. I'm not saying, it's just a simple zone buster. Also, apologize that it's blurry. But I'm not trying to say, it's simple as an insult to the Rams for not being able to stop it, because you run this type of play for a reason, because it's effective against the coverage you're going against. The Rams are only playing quarters here, part of it due to the hurry up. They're, just saying, hey, this is the coverage we're doing, and also part of it's because that's just what they do. So, again, I'm not criticizing the Rams whatsoever for this. This was a good play by San Francisco. Jimmy G makes the throw. Not a difficult throw to make, but again, this is what you like about Jimmy Garoppolo, right? He makes the easy plays. He finds the open guy and hits him. He runs the offense, and he did all of that good stuff on this play, and especially on this drive. So that's how they were able to tie it. And then, of course, this play was obviously a huge play because if you don't get it, you do have to kick the ball back to the Rams. And remember that you need a win or a tie. So you can play for the tie, obviously, just to get in. But you don't want that. You want to win. Here's the way this play is going to work. It's, again, that zone coverage play. And you see that it's actually Juwan Jennings who's going to be the key guy here, who, again, over time can create some unlikely heroes sometimes. And what's going to happen on this play is I've circled the LA player who's going to be trying to cover him. And this is essentially going to just turn into a true one-on-one matchup. This is between, Juwan Jennings and Dayton. I should probably know how to pronounce his name, but regardless, you're going to see, again, this is just winning your one-on-one matchup in a big spot, 3rd down and 6, to get yourself, past the middle of the field. Watch as you see. I mean, this is just going to be a good throw from Garoppolo. And, again, good broken tackle. I have to pause it right here for a second. Again, your computer's not broken. Your phone isn't broken. Just had to pause it for copyright reasons. And then you see breaks a tackle, gets a big chunk play, goes from what would have had to probably be a punt. Maybe you even risk it and go for it in that scenario. Instead, you don't do any of that stuff. You're able to at least get in field goal range. They would then go on to kick the go-ahead field goal. Of course, we would then go on to see Stafford throwing a overtime interception. Never a good idea to throw it to the other team in overtime. That's my opinion. That's my hot take on that. But a wild game, and Odell was kind of open too. I mean, it would have been a tough throw. You'd have had to really get it down there. But if he makes that might have been it for San Francisco. But hey, take advantage of your opportunities that are given to you. When your opponent makes a mistake, take advantage of it. And that's what happened right there. So, and also kind of funny that for Odell Beckham Jr., he's consistently, I guess, the one maybe slight area of criticism you give him. I guess there's a lot of areas he gets criticism for, but the one I give him for is kind of the contested catches. He hasn't always been the best at those, especially these past couple of years, and that one especially. So just a tough one, tough way to lose for the Rams. That's a tough one, but for the 49ers, pulling off that victory, finding a way in the complete chaos. They are a playoff team, and thank God. Thank God the 49ers are a playoff team. They deserve to be in the postseason. They're a talented team, and quite frankly, sort of towards the end there, with Jimmy Garoppolo, you're down 7, you're kind of thinking, is this the end of the Jimmy G era? Is this how it's going to go out? He hasn't had his best game. No, he puts together back-to-back really good drives, and it stays on for at least one more week. Who knows what's going to happen come postseason time? There's a lot of good teams in the NFC. They got their work cut out for them, but you're here, and you made it. You made it to the dance. They earned their way to the dance. And for the Rams, okay, whatever. It's not the end of the world. You still won the division. You're just happy the Cardinals lost. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.